I stand in Terminal C of Denver International Airport, my backpack heavy on my shoulders, watching my mother's blonde highlights disappear into the crowd. The departure board above flickers with destinations: Paris, London, Rome. But my flight to Portland doesn't appear anywhere on that screen because it never existed. My phone buzzes, a text from Mom. "Change of plans, sweetheart. You'll stay with your father this summer. I've already told him you're coming. His address is in your email. Love you." 3 words follow that feel like a knife. "Have fun, honey." I read it twice, 3 times, the words refusing to rearrange themselves into something that makes sense. My fingers are shaking as I dial her number. It goes straight to voicemail. I try again. Voicemail. The automated voice cheerfully informs me that the customer I'm trying to reach is unavailable. Around me, families embrace at arrival gates. A little girl runs into her grandmother's arms. A man holds a sign that says, "Welcome home." And I'm 15 years old, standing in an airport 2,000 miles from home with exactly $47 in my wallet and a mother who just sent me a text message instead of having the courage to say goodbye to my face. My hands fumble with my phone, opening my email with the kind of desperate hope that maybe this is a misunderstanding. Maybe there's more information. Maybe she actually arranged something instead of just abandoning me. The email loads. One attachment. A screenshot of an address in Portland, Oregon. No explanation, no phone number for my father, no details about how I'm supposed to get there from Denver. I haven't seen my father in 8 years. Not since I was 7, and he and Mom had their final screaming match in our driveway. I remember his beat-up truck pulling away, his hand raised in a wave that I didn't return because Mom was gripping my shoulder so tight it hurt. He sent birthday cards for the first 2 years. Then those stopped too. A woman in a Southwest Airlines uniform approaches me. "Sweetie, are you okay? Are you lost?" Her name tag reads Patricia, and her eyes hold the kind of concern that makes my throat tight. I manage to shake my head. "I'm fine, just waiting for someone." She doesn't look convinced, but she nods slowly and moves on, glancing back twice as she walks away. I sink onto a plastic chair, my backpack sliding to the floor beside me. The truth settles over me like a weight. Mom planned this. She knew exactly what she was doing when she booked her ticket to Cabo San Lucas with Richard. Richard, her new husband of exactly 4 months. They met at her gym 7 months ago, and suddenly everything was Richard this and Richard that. Richard thinks we should try that new restaurant. Richard booked us a spa day. Richard wants to take me sailing. Except Richard doesn't actually want to take me anywhere. 2 weeks ago, I overheard them in the kitchen. Richard's voice carried through the air vent into my bedroom. 2 weeks, Sarah. Just 2 weeks without the kid. We need this. We need time to be newlyweds. Mom's response was quieter, but I caught the important parts. She can stay with friends. What about that girl, Madison? Or maybe my sister could take her. I'd waited for her to tell me. Waited for her to sit me down and explain that they needed some time alone, that I'd stay with Aunt Carol or with Madison's family. I'd have understood. I wouldn't have liked it, but I'd have understood. Instead, she smiled at breakfast yesterday morning and said, "Surprise! We're going to Portland. Your father finally agreed to have you visit for the summer." Her eyes were too bright, her voice too cheerful. "Isn't that wonderful? You've been saying you wanted to see him." I never said that, not once. But I nodded because what else do you do when your mother is lying to your face and you both know it? My phone battery is at 62%. I open my banking app. The savings account my grandmother left me shows $4,300. Money I've been saving for a car, for college applications, for a future that suddenly feels very far away. I navigate to my contacts, scrolling past Mom's number to the only other option I have, Aunt Carol. She picks up on the 3rd ring, and the sound of her voice makes something crack in my chest. "Aunt Carol?" My voice comes out smaller than I intend. "I need help." 20 minutes later, I'm in the airport food court with a terminal map spread across the table. Aunt Carol talked me through the immediate crisis with the kind of calm efficiency that runs in our family. Book a hotel near the airport for tonight. Use my debit card. In the morning, buy a bus ticket to Portland. She'll wire me money if I need it. And Mia, she'd said, her voice tight with anger I recognized, I'm calling your mother. This is unacceptable. But I know it won't matter. Mom has already boarded her flight to Cabo. She's probably sipping champagne in first class right now, Richard's hand on her knee, planning their sunset dinner reservations and spa appointments. She won't think about me until she has to. Maybe not even then. The hotel room smells like industrial cleaner and stale air conditioning. I sit on the edge of the bed, staring at the generic landscape painting on the wall, and let myself cry for exactly 10 minutes. Then I wash my face, order pizza with the last of my airport cash, and start Googling my father's address. Robert Chen, age 43. The address Mom sent is in a neighborhood called St. John's in North Portland. Street view shows a small craftsman house with peeling paint and overgrown front yard. It's not much, but it's something. It's more than I have right now. I don't have his phone number. Mom never gave it to me, and it's not listed online, so I do what desperate 15-year-olds do. I write an email to every R. Chen in Portland until I find one that might be him. Hi, this is Mia. I think you're my dad. I'm in Denver right now, but Mom said I'm supposed to come stay with you in Portland for the summer. Can you please call me? I include my phone number and hit send on 17 different emails before exhaustion pulls me under. My phone rings at 6:15 in the morning, an unknown Portland number. My heart hammers against my ribs as I answer. Mia? The voice is unfamiliar, deeper than I remember, with a hesitation that tells me he's as unprepared for this as I am. It's you, Dad. I got your email. What's going on? The words pour out. The airport, the text message, Mom and Richard in Cabo, Aunt Carol's emergency hotel solution. He's quiet for a long time after I finish. So quiet, I think the call might have dropped. Jesus, he finally says. I didn't know. She didn't call me. I had no idea. Another pause. Are you safe? Are you okay? Something about the genuine concern in his voice unravels the tight control I've been maintaining since yesterday. I don't know, I admit. I have enough money for a bus ticket. I can be in Portland by tomorrow. No, his response is immediate. No, don't take the bus. That's a long trip, and you shouldn't have to do that alone. I'm going to book you a flight. Can you get back to the airport? 20 minutes later, I have a confirmation number for a Southwest flight leaving at 2 p.m. Robert Chen paid for it with his credit card over the phone, giving the gate agent some story about a family emergency that wasn't even a lie. I land in Portland at 3:45. The Pacific Northwest rain greets me through the terminal windows, a steady drizzle that makes everything look gray and close. I've never been to Portland before, never been to the West Coast. The farthest west I've traveled is Denver, and look how that turned out. He's waiting at baggage claim, holding a sign with my name written in neat block letters. I recognize him immediately, even though he looks nothing like my 7-year-old memory. He's shorter than I expected, his hair graying at the temples, wearing a flannel shirt and jeans that have seen better days. His eyes, my eyes, scan the crowd until they land on me. Mia? It's not a question. He drops the sign and closes the distance between us, stopping just short of physical contact, like he's unsure of the boundaries. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry this happened to you. I don't know what to say, so I just nod. He reaches for my backpack and I let him take it, following him through the terminal to a parking structure where a faded blue Honda Civic waits. It's old but clean, with an air freshener hanging from the rearview mirror, and a child's booster seat in the back that he quickly moves to the trunk. That's my daughter's, your half-sister. He says it carefully, watching my reaction. Her name is Sophie. She's 5. She doesn't know about you yet. Of course she doesn't. Why would she? I'm the daughter from before, the one he left behind, the one Mom made him leave behind. The details of their divorce have always been fuzzy, filtered through Mom's version of events where she's the hero and he's the villain who abandoned his family. The drive to his house takes 30 minutes through rain-slicked streets and neighborhoods I don't recognize. He tries to fill the silence with small talk. Portland is a nice city, lots of trees, good food scene. His house is small but comfortable. Sophie is excited to meet me. That last part makes me doubt everything. How can Sophie be excited to meet me when she didn't know I existed until this morning? The house from Google Street View looks better in person, despite the peeling paint. There's a small garden in the front yard with vegetables growing in neat rows. Wind chimes hang from the porch, singing softly in the breeze. It looks lived in, loved even. A woman opens the front door as we pull into the driveway. She's petite, with dark curly hair pulled into a messy bun, wearing leggings and an oversized sweater. She offers me a smile that reaches her eyes. "You must be Mia." "I'm Rachel. Come in, please. You must be exhausted." The inside of the house surprises me. It's small, maybe 900 square feet, but every inch is utilized with clever storage and warm touches. Plants sit on windowsills, family photos cover the walls. It smells like something baking, cinnamon and sugar. A little girl peeks around the corner, all wide eyes and curiosity. She has my father's eyes too, and Rachel's curls. "Are you really my sister?" she asks, no preamble, no hesitation. "Half-sister," I correct automatically, then feel terrible when her face falls. "But yes, I guess I am." She lights up again, launching into a detailed explanation of her room, her toys, her school, her best friend Jasmine, and approximately 17 other topics before Rachel gently guides her toward the kitchen. "Let Mia get settled first, sweetheart." My father, I should start calling him Dad, but the word feels wrong in my mouth, shows me to a small room at the back of the house. It has a twin bed, a dresser, and a window overlooking the backyard. There's a stuffed bear sitting on the pillow and fresh sheets that smell like lavender. "This was going to be my office," he explains, setting my backpack on the bed. "But we can set that up in the basement. You need somewhere to sleep." I want to tell him it's fine, that I don't need them to rearrange their life for me, that I'll be gone as soon as I figure out what comes next. Instead, I say, "Thank you." That night, we sit around a small dining table that barely fits 4 people. Rachel made lasagna, and Sophie talks non-stop about her upcoming dance recital. My father watches me like he's afraid I might disappear if he looks away. "I tried," he says suddenly, cutting through Sophie's monologue about ballet positions. "After I left, I tried to stay in your life. Your mother made it impossible." Rachel places a gentle hand on his arm, a warning to drop it. But I need to hear this. "What do you mean?" "He left and tried to stay in my life? Mom made it impossible?"
"I sent birthday cards," he continues, "Christmas cards. Your mother returned them unopened. I tried calling. She'd changed her number. I even hired a private investigator at one point to make sure you were okay, that you were safe and healthy." He meets my eyes. "I never stopped thinking about you, Mia. I just didn't know how to reach you." The lasagna sits heavy in my stomach. 8 years of believing one story, and now I'm being handed a completely different narrative. I don't know which version is true. Maybe they both are. Maybe truth is just the story you choose to believe. That night, I lie in the small room that smells like lavender and listen to the unfamiliar sounds of a house that isn't mine. Pipes creaking, footsteps in the hallway, Sophie's music box playing softly through the thin walls. My phone sits silent on the nightstand. No messages from Mom, no missed calls. I open Instagram and immediately wish I hadn't. Mom's story shows her and Richard on a beach at sunset, tropical drinks with tiny umbrellas, her head on his shoulder. The caption reads, "Paradise with my love. So grateful for this time together." No mention of me. No acknowledgement that she left her teenage daughter stranded in an airport. Just paradise and gratitude and a love that apparently doesn't have room for the daughter she carried for 9 months. I screenshot it. I don't know why. Maybe because I need proof that this happened, that I didn't imagine the abandonment. Maybe because someday I'll want to remember exactly how little I mattered. Aunt Carol calls the next morning while I'm helping Rachel with breakfast. She's furious in that quiet, dangerous way that means someone is about to face consequences. I've been calling your mother for 24 hours. She finally answered this morning. Do you want to know what she said? I don't, but I nod anyway, forgetting she can't see me. What? She said you needed time with your father, that it was important for your development, that she was giving you a gift. Aunt Carol's voice drips with contempt. A gift. She dumped you at an airport and called it a gift. Did she mention the vacation? Did she tell you about Cabo? Silence. Then, what vacation? So Mom lied to Aunt Carol too, painted herself as the selfless mother facilitating a reunion instead of the woman who chose a honeymoon over her daughter. I'm filing a complaint with CPS. What she did is abandonment. It's neglect. It's illegal. No. The word comes out sharper than I intend. Please don't. I'm safe. I'm okay. If you report her, they'll just put me in foster care or make me go back to her. Aunt Carol is quiet for a long moment. Fine. But I'm documenting everything. Every conversation, every text message. When you're ready to take action, we'll have evidence. The summer unfolds in ways I don't expect. My Dad, I finally start calling him, works construction, leaving before dawn and returning covered in dust and exhaustion. Rachel teaches kindergarten and has summers off, so she's home with Sophie and now me. She doesn't treat me like an inconvenience or a burden. She includes me in grocery shopping, asks my opinion on dinner, teaches me how to make her grandmother's chocolate chip cookies. Sophie follows me around like a puppy, desperate for my attention and approval. I enroll in summer school to make up a failed algebra class, not because I'm bad at math, but because last semester I couldn't focus on anything except Mom's wedding planning and Richard moving into our house and the way my life was reshaping itself around someone else's happiness. The algebra teacher, Mr. Patterson, is young and enthusiastic in a way that shouldn't work but does. He notices when I'm struggling and stays after class to help me. He doesn't ask about my home life or why I'm suddenly in Portland. He just teaches me math. By mid-July, I've caught up on all the work I missed. Mr. Patterson writes me a recommendation letter for the school's advanced math track, even though I'm technically not enrolled yet. You have talent, he says. Don't waste it. Mom calls exactly 3 times all summer. Once from Cabo to make sure I arrived safely. Once in late June to tell me that she and Richard extended their trip to include wine country. Once in early August to inform me that school starts September 5th and I should make plans to come home. I don't want to go home. Home is a place where I'm invisible, unless I'm inconvenient. Home is where my mother chose a man she's known for 7 months over the daughter she's known for 15 years. I'm sitting on the back porch with Dad when I finally say it out loud. I don't want to go back. He's quiet, sipping his beer and watching Sophie chase fireflies in the yard. What do you want to do? Can I stay here? Finish high school here? Mia. He sets down the beer, turning to face me fully. I would love that. You have no idea how much I would love that. But your mother has full custody. Legally, I can't just keep you. What if I refuse to go back? What if she has to drag me on a plane? Then she'll call the police, and it'll get ugly. And you'll end up back in Colorado anyway, except everything will be worse. He reaches over, squeezing my shoulder. But there's another option. We can file for a custody modification. Rachel joins us, having listened from the doorway. At 15, your opinion carries weight in court. If you tell a judge you want to live here, that you feel safe and supported here, that matters. It won't be quick and it won't be easy, Dad warns. Your mother will fight it. She'll say terrible things about me, about Rachel, about our life here. She'll try to make you feel guilty. She already does that, I point out. We file the paperwork in late August. Dad uses money he'd been saving for a new roof. Rachel contacts her lawyer cousin who agrees to help at a reduced rate. Aunt Carol provides a sworn affidavit about the airport incident and Mom's neglectful behavior. Mom's response is immediate and vicious. Her lawyer sends a letter accusing Dad of parental alienation, of poisoning me against her, of taking advantage of a teenager's temporary anger. She demands I return to Colorado immediately for the start of school. I don't go. Dad enrolls me at Roosevelt High School in Portland instead. Mom threatens legal action. Her lawyer files for emergency custody. We have a court hearing scheduled for September 20th. School starts on a Wednesday. Roosevelt is bigger than my old school, more diverse, with an energy that feels different from suburban Colorado. I'm assigned a locker next to a girl named Priya, who immediately adopts me into her friend group.
"You're the new girl with the complicated family situation," she says matter-of-factly during lunch. "Jamie's parents are divorced. Marcus has 2 moms. Lima's dad is in prison. We don't judge." I feel something loosen in my chest. These kids don't know Colorado Mia, the one who smiled through everything and pretended her mother's emotional neglect was normal. They only know Portland Mia, who shows up to class and helps Sophie with homework and is learning to make Rachel's grandmother's cookies. The court hearing arrives too quickly and not quickly enough. We sit in a conference room. Me, Dad, Rachel, Mom, Richard, and enough lawyers to fill a small law firm. Mom looks perfect in a cream pantsuit, her hair salon fresh, her makeup flawless. She doesn't look at me. The judge is a tired-looking woman named Martinez, who seems distinctly unimpressed with everyone in the room. She asks me questions. Why do I want to live in Portland? Am I being pressured? Do I understand the consequences? I tell her the truth. About the airport, about the text message, about 8 years of being the inconvenient daughter who got in the way of Mom's happiness, about summer school and algebra and fireflies in the backyard and a little sister who thinks I hung the moon. I feel safe in Portland. I feel seen. I feel like I matter. Mom's lawyer objects. This is temporary teenage rebellion. Mia is being manipulated. Sarah has been a devoted mother for 15 years. Judge Martinez holds up a hand. Let me get this straight, Mrs. Sullivan. You left your 15-year-old daughter at an airport in a city where she doesn't live with no verified arrangements for her care so you could take a vacation with your new husband? It wasn't like that. I didn't mean... She was supposed to stay with her father. I arranged it. Mom's voice rises, losing its careful composure. Did you confirm these arrangements with Mr. Chen before you left? Silence. Did you provide your daughter with his contact information, with details about how to reach his home, with any resources in case of emergency? More silence. Judge Martinez's expression hardens. Interim custody will remain with Mr. Chen pending a full hearing. We'll reconvene in 60 days. Until then, Mia will continue attending school in Portland. Mom's face crumples. She reaches for me as we leave the conference room, and I step back instinctively. Mia, please, I made a mistake. I'm sorry. Please come home. You're not sorry. You're sorry you got caught. You're sorry it has consequences, but you're not sorry you did it. I walk past her, past Richard, who hasn't said a word this entire time, and follow Dad and Rachel to the parking lot. Sophie is waiting in the car with Rachel's mother, coloring in a princess book. When she sees me, she holds up her picture. I made this for you. It's us. You're the tall princess and I'm the little princess, and we're fighting dragons. I take the picture, looking at the crayon drawing of 2 stick figures with crowns and smiles,
and something inside me settles into place. This is family, not biology or obligation or guilt, but choice and presence, and someone who draws you into their pictures. The 60 days pass in a blur of school and homework and volleyball tryouts and family dinners around the too small table. I make honor roll for the first time in 2 years. Mr. Patterson recommends me for the math league. Priya and I start a study group that mostly involves eating snacks and occasionally looking at textbooks. Mom calls less and less. When she does, the conversations are stilted and awkward, filled with her defensive explanations and my monosyllabic responses. Richard never calls. I don't expect him to. I was never his responsibility, never his concern. I was just the obstacle between him and unlimited access to his new wife. Aunt Carl visits in October. She takes me to Powell's Books and buys me 6 novels and a journal with a leather cover. Over coffee, she tells me about the conversations she's had with Mom, the fights that ended with Mom hanging up, the text messages that went unanswered. She's rewriting history, Aunt Carl says. In her version, she's the victim, you're the ungrateful daughter, your father is the manipulator. She's blocked out the airport entirely. Does she really believe that? I ask. I think she has to, Aunt Carl says. The alternative is admitting she abandoned her child for a vacation. That's not something a good mother does, so she can't be that person. The story has to change. The second hearing happens in mid-November. This time, there are witness statements. Teachers from my Portland school talking about my academic improvement, a therapist Dad insisted I see who reports I'm thriving in my current environment. Even Priya's mom, who barely knows me, writes a letter about my positive influence on her daughter's study habits. Mom brings her own witnesses, neighbors from Colorado, her sister-in-law, Richard, who gives a stilted testimony about wanting to be a family, but none of them can explain away the airport. None of them can erase the text message that Aunt Carl submitted as evidence. Judge Martinez makes her ruling quickly this time. Custody is transferred to Robert Chen with supervised visitation rights for Sarah Sullivan, pending completion of family therapy. Mia will remain in Portland. Mom doesn't cry. She just stands up, collects her purse, and walks out of the courtroom without looking at me. Richard follows her, his hand on her back, and I realize I'll probably never see him again. I'm fine with that. Dad pulls me into a hug in the courthouse hallway. Rachel is crying happy tears. Sophie, who came this time, wraps her arms around my legs. You're staying? You're really staying? I'm staying. And the words feel like home. The weeks between the court decision and Christmas passed in a comfortable rhythm I've never experienced before. I wake up to the smell of Rachel's coffee brewing. Sophie bursts into my room most mornings, wanting help choosing her outfit for school. Dad leaves notes on the kitchen counter. Simple things like, have a great day, or proud of you, kiddo. I join the math league and we place 3rd in our first regional competition. Priya convinces me to try out for the spring musical, even though I can't sing. I end up working on the set design instead, painting backdrops and building props. It turns out I'm good at it. Really good at it. Mr. Patterson notices and connects me with the drama teacher, who connects me with a local community college that offers art classes for high school students. By December, I'm taking a weekend painting course and discovering I have a talent I never knew existed. Or maybe I always knew, but nobody bothered to notice.
I think about the art contest certificate that Mom dismissed when I was 8, the one that ended up in a kitchen drawer. I wonder if it's still there, or if she threw it away when she moved Richard into the house. I wonder if she ever thinks about that moment, about how easily she could have changed everything with just a little attention. That Christmas, we decorate the small living room with lights and a tree that's slightly too big for the space. I help Sophie make cookies for her class party,
Rachel teaches me how to knit a scarf, and I only mess up the patterns 17 times. Dad and I build a bookshelf for my room because I've accumulated more books than the small space can handle. Mom sends a card. No gift, no phone call, just a generic Hallmark card with "Merry Christmas to my daughter" printed inside, and her signature. No personal message, no acknowledgement of the past 6 months. I pin it to my bulletin board next to the drawing Sophie made of us as dragon-fighting princesses, a reminder of where I came from and where I chose to go. A reminder that family isn't who you're born to, but who shows up. On Christmas morning, Sophie wakes me up at 6 a.m., bouncing on my bed with the kind of energy only a 5-year-old can have. "Santa came! Santa came! There's presents for you too!" I stumble downstairs in my pajamas to find the small living room transformed. Stockings hang from the mantel, each one carefully labeled. Mine is there, between Sophie's and Rachel's, stuffed with small gifts. There's a present under the tree with my name on it and Dad's careful handwriting. I haven't had a stocking since I was 7 years old. Mom stopped doing them after Dad left, said they were too much work. Certainly Richard never suggested bringing them back. I open my gifts slowly, savoring each one. A set of professional art supplies from Dad and Rachel, a book on famous female painters from Aunt Carol, a friendship bracelet from Sophie that she made herself, the colors slightly uneven but perfect, a framed photo of the 4 of us from Thanksgiving. Everyone smiling, everyone present. I take a picture of everything and almost post it to Instagram. Almost. Then I remember that Mom follows my account, that Richard follows my account, that posting this would be inviting them into a moment they don't deserve to witness. So I save the photo to a private album instead, just for me. Later that night, after Sophie has crashed from her sugar high and Rachel is doing the dishes, Dad finds me on the back porch. It's cold, the Portland winter cutting through my sweatshirt, but I needed a moment alone, a moment to process everything. "You okay?" he asks, sitting down beside me with 2 mugs of hot chocolate. "Yeah," I say, and I mean it. "I was just thinking about last Christmas." He's quiet, waiting for me to continue. "Last Christmas, Mom was dating Richard. She spent the whole day texting him, making plans to see him after dinner. I got a gift card to Target and a sweater in the wrong size. We ate frozen lasagna because she didn't want to cook. By 7 p.m., she was gone, and I was alone watching Christmas movies." Dad's hand tightens around his mug. "This year, I woke up to a stocking with my name on it. I got thoughtful presents from people who actually know me. We spent the whole day together, all 4 of us. Sophie fell asleep on my lap during the movie tonight." I turned to look at him. "This is what Christmas is supposed to feel like, isn't it?" "Yeah, sweetheart," he says, his voice rough. "This is exactly what it's supposed to feel like." I thought something was wrong with me. For years, I thought I was the problem, that if I was just better, smarter, quieter, more helpful, less in the way, then Mom would love me the way she's supposed to. There was never anything wrong with you, Mia. Never. What she did, how she treated you, that's on her. That's her failure, not yours. I nod, feeling tears prick at my eyes. I know that now, but knowing it and believing it are different things. It'll take time. Healing takes time, but you're not alone in it anymore. We're here. We're not going anywhere. On New Year's Eve, the 4 of us watched the Portland fireworks from our back porch, bundled in blankets against the cold. Sophie falls asleep before midnight, her head in my lap, her small hand clutching mine. Dad and Rachel kiss when the clock strikes 12, and then Rachel pulls me into the embrace too, pressing a kiss to my forehead. Welcome home. Really home. For good. My phone stays silent. No midnight call from Mom, no text message wishing me a happy new year. I wait until 12:03, then I delete her contact. Not blocked, just removed.
She can reach me if she really wants to, but I'm done checking. I'm done waiting. I'm done hoping she'll suddenly become the mother I needed.
I think about the girl I was 6 months ago, standing in Terminal C with a backpack and $47 and a mother who couldn't even say goodbye to her face. I think about how scared I was, how lost, how convinced that I was the problem, how certain I was that I'd done something to deserve being left behind. I'm not that girl anymore. I'm the girl who made honor roll, who has friends who choose to spend time with her, who has a little sister who draws pictures of them fighting dragons together, who has a father who drove through the night once to attend her school's winter concert because I had a solo in the choir, who has a stepmom who teaches her to bake and knit and doesn't once make her feel like an imposition. Mom taught me what love isn't: abandonment disguised as opportunity, neglect wrapped in pretty words, choosing new partners over existing children, making yourself the victim of your own cruelty, rewriting history so you never have to face what you've done. But Dad and Rachel and Sophie taught me what love is: showing up every single day, making room in your life, not because you have to, but because you want to, choosing to see someone, really see them, and deciding they matter, defending them when they can't defend themselves, fighting for them when it would be easier to let go. Love isn't grand gestures or perfect moments. It's Tuesday night dinners around a too small table. It's homework help and permission slips signed on time. It's someone remembering you like your coffee with 2 sugars. It's a 5-year-old who insists you read her one more bedtime story. It's a father who kept your baby pictures for 8 years, hoping you'd come back. I scroll through my phone one last time before bed, looking at the photos from the past 6 months. Me and Priya at a football game, faces painted in school colors. Sophie's ballet recital, her in a pink tutu and me in the audience with the biggest bouquet. Rachel teaching me to knit, both of us laughing at my tangled yarn. Dad and me building the bookshelf, covered in sawdust and grinning. Family photos that tell a story of choosing and being chosen. There's one photo I don't have. I never took a picture of Terminal C, of the moment Mom walked away. I don't need it. That moment is behind me now. The airport was where one story ended. The story of a girl waiting to be seen by someone who would never really look. But this small house, with the 2 big Christmas tree and the handmade cookies and the family who chose to make room for me, this is where the real story begins. This is where I stop being someone's inconvenience and start being someone's choice. This is where I learn that love isn't something you have to earn or beg for or twist yourself into shapes to deserve. This is where I learn that I was always worthy. I was always enough. I just needed people who could see it. And I'm finally ready to write the rest of this story. Not as the abandoned daughter, or the inconvenient child, or the girl who wasn't good enough, but as Mia. Just Mia, who belongs here, who is home.